Everyone. No, I'm just kidding. That was my really bad Max Headroom.
That was so bad. I had no idea what you were doing.
I don't know what's going on, but my computer, my internet connection's making me look like a... Yeah.
You do have a split head. It looks like something out of South Park. You know those two egg heads that the heads open up. It looks like that.
Oh, like the guy that talks like this, and another guy that talks like that. Yeah, I don't know. South Park. I need to. I've heard very good things about it.
Is one of them called Simon?
I know there's Kyle and Kenny and Cartman.
No, not those. The two egg things in it.
I don't know. I know that there's a show about these two Canadian kids.
Yeah.
That they watch.
And then come and talk like this.
But that's all I know.
Yeah, so
Welcome to Podcast 451, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
I am Creep Creeperson, and this is Zoe Humphreys.
Hello.
And today we're obviously bullshitting about other stuff that no one cares about. So, yeah, we have an action-packed show, and I'll let her talk.
Why do you always do this when, before we came on the air, I said, what news have you got? And you went, I don't know. So now I'm going to sit here talking about nothing.
Oh, I thought you were, like, ready to talk about something. Okay. Well, as far as the news goes, I think last week...
Episode 31, I know that.
Yeah. And today we're going to talk about how to build an author website. We're going to talk about Amazon cart and decide if it's illegal or not. Because Zoe has an inkling that Amazon cart is illegal.
No, I don't. I think it's really weird. You know how I worry about things.
She said, when I was telling her about it, she's like, is that legal? So it's all good. We'll talk about that and, you know, whatever. And then I found out some information about Kindle countdown deals that you could do if you're in Select, which I apparently was kind of wrong about. So it's kind of a neat thing now that I think about it. So we'll talk about that. But let's hit the news.
Oh, do you want me to do it? I'm going to veto this news thing. Do you know what I want to buy? One of those little xylophones so I can go ding, 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 like on Grease. You know, when she puts her hand over it at the end because she gets carried away.
When she says, we're all athletic supporters.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like a jockstrap pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny stuff. Here at Rydell High. Okay. Yeah, usually you go... And then you go, podcast
451 news. I'm not doing it anymore because I always laugh halfway through anyway.
Are you serious? You're just going to stop a shtick like that?
Yeah. See, if anyone complains and they want it back, then I'll consider it.
Man, that's just like Hysteria Continues, not playing the cat flush in the toilet. Like,
yep.
You just did it, huh? You just said no. Wow. Okay. So she's not going to do it anymore. So here is the updates of everything. Everything is going fine and dandy in Black Star Canyon. I finished the first episode. I think we talked about that last week. I'm working on the second one right now. A few chapters into it. Hopefully it'll be done within the next couple days, and I could send that off. Still haven't gotten any edits back yet on it. So, and then there's that. Oh, and also, um, actually, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna give it a minute or two to gestate. But as far as everything else that's going with the releases of the old stuff, oh, we ordered the paperbacks.
Yeah, we totally did.
Some of them. There's still two paperbacks that Create Space is saying don't work, even though they let another one slip through. So,
So we're not really sure what to do about the last one, are we?
no, but well, I have an idea that I think will be smarter than their robots there at Skynet. I think we'll be able to pull it off. And then, so next week, I'll be able to show you guys the paperbacks. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, some of them at least.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Episode 1, 3, and the first season.
3's a good one, though, isn't it? We seem to be getting a lot of feedback about the third one.
Yeah.
Lucas on the front. Which
Spoiler.
I was really pleased about.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's what you're saying. That's why I said it. You're such a stalk. I panicked there.
Okay.
You've
so
been
there's
putting
that.
them up weekly, haven't you, so that everybody gets to see. Like, they're all up on the top of my thing anyway.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're on the website and everything. But yeah, episode 3 got a lot of good comments. They're
They
so
all
cool.
have, really, but...
Yeah, we have to, like, just so you know, too, as far as the push to get everything going, and all that other stuff, I don't know exactly what I would call it, but we pushed really hard on the free first episode, and we're still pushing that pretty hard, but this week was the first time that episode 2 was our biggest seller. So
Which is really cool.
that's really cool. So we're getting our turnover rate. So that's what we want, kind of thing.
Well, hopefully the idea that the free download of the first season means people are reading that and buying the second one. That's the general idea, isn't it?
Yep. And we, there's still time to RSVP for our live event. We have, I think, over 30 people.
Really?
So far. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's really cool. We're going to have to really start organising exactly what we're going to be doing on that, really.
Yeah, I think we should do a little bit of where you eat a salad and we all watch. I think that'll be super
Why is that
fun.
exactly?
Okay, I'm just kidding. So this week, and we'll probably be talking about it a lot. Actually, we can probably hit it now. I destroyed our website on accident this week, trying to make it cooler, and I panicked. And basically, for those of you who have some kind of knowledge about it, you'll laugh at me as soon as I tell you what I did. You know who would really laugh at me is Mike Cadaver's daughter would laugh at me because she's smarter than me, apparently. No, but
she's definitely smarter than me. I'm not even arguing about it.
We were using the theme called Parabola, which the nice guy at GoDaddy told me is how you pronounce it, and it's not parabola, but it's parabola. And apparently that is a geometry term that I somehow slipped from my mind and had no idea that's what that was. Now Zoe's laughing because now she's smarter than me.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway.
Parabola sounds like some nasty intestinal worm or something, doesn't it? That you get in the deepest part of Africa.
I know, it makes me think of Rene Russo dying on a bed.
That's gross.
What? Outbreak!
I know.
Okay,
That's horrible. With the monkeys.
Yeah, dude. And
Dustin Hoffman.
that movie is the worst movie to see in a movie theater. Because there's
Why?
that scene where that dude coughs, and then it shows all the germs like floating through the movie theater, and everybody like inhaling them and stuff.
And you're just thinking, oh god, this is gross.
Wonder where my OCD came from. That's where I think it came from. But anyway, so there are four things that I needed on a website, and it was on the front page.
Excuse me, should we be talking about this now? Because this should be all part of our discussion.
Well, okay, so long. I'm just trying to explain how I broke the site.
Well, just explain.
Okay, I basically went into the PHP part of the front page in the editor of the, I don't know, the PHP, I guess, and I tried to put a sign-in form, a mailing list sign-up form, so it would be on the top of my front page. And apparently the good people who put together Parabola don't like you fucking with their front page. And then all of a sudden all these warnings started popping up. And it was working fine. And if you went to the page, you would see the sign-up form. It was right there, right on top, right in the middle. It looked great, whatever. And then when I logged out of my WordPress, it still looked great. But then when I tried to log back in, the warnings started popping up, and it wouldn't let me into my site. So I couldn't post any blogs. I couldn't edit the website. It was like, nope, you're fucked, buddy. Like, you did this, and now this is your bed. You got to lie in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started panicking. And if you know me, when I start panicking, things get a little crazy.
That's
Should
a
I tell
nice
that
way
story
of putting
too?
it. Tell that story.
So I was outside talking to my mom. She came by. We were outside talking, and my daughter wanted to come out after I specifically told her to go into her room and do her homework. She came outside and locked the screen, our like security screen. And my keys, my phone were in the house. The dog was in the house. There was a candle burning in the house. And I just started freaking panicking, and I couldn't open the door. So I had a little moment, and then the door opened.
Okay. No. First of all, we have to point out that Shaylee had gone out by accident, shut the door, hadn't she? She just run out, and by accident,
She accidentally shut the door. She accidentally locked the door when she
accidentally locked the door on the way out and shut it behind her. And you panicked, rushed round the back to see if you could get into the back door, which of course you OCD locked.
Yeah.
Several times, so that wasn't going to work. So you came back around, shouted at her, tried to sound like you weren't shouting at her.
I said, I'm not mad at you, but I specifically said for you not to come outside, and I said for you to go in your room and do your homework. There wasn't any shouting, hey, Jim, and I'm yelling at Jim. Hey, Jim, how's it going, man?
Hi, Jim.
Jim, you're so...
Don't sing at him. We don't want him to go.
Okay, sorry, Jim.
We're just explaining how Creep had a moment.
Okay, so finish that story so we could get on with the rest of our day.
So you said to her through gritted teeth, probably, if I know you, that it wasn't, you just told her to stay in, but she'd come out anyway. Yeah, exactly. Poor kid standing crying outside. So
it wasn't even that bad. You're making it sound horrible, like it's like snowing and there's like crippled children outside with crutches asking for porridge and shit.
Well, considering I spoke to her and she was in floods of tears afterwards with a panic attack as well because she ruined the whole day.
She didn't ruin the day.
And then, anyway, it's okay because Hulk smashed his way back in. Hulk smashed lock and managed to get back in.
Yeah, it actually ended up working out. So
Yep.
everything's
Smash.
fine.
Which I thought was hilarious. Anyway, carry on. So you had a moment again with the
Yeah,
website.
basically I had to call the guy at GoDaddy. And I know a lot of people like, why are you still using GoDaddy? And it's just because I have so much shit over there that like to get moved to a different hosting just sounds like a nightmare to me. And we'll talk about hosting in a little bit too. But
So
he's
this
like,
kind
yeah,
of
you can't do that. So basically he had to throw my theme away, which was the parabola, so I could get back into the website. And when I got back in, I had to put a new theme on it. And I'm like, I'll put the parabola back on and see what happens. And it's like, and I'm like, oh my god! And so I got rid of it really quick before I got kicked out of my site again. And so I was looking for new stuff. And if you don't know what parabola looks like and you want to see, if you go to our site, podcast451.com, that's parabola. JalloChowChow.com's parabola, and Friday the 13th podcast.com's parabola. And I
Slasherton.
so they look all different. Slasherton, no, I can't remember. I think Slasherton's Magazino.
Oh, was it?
But, I think. But we'll talk about themes in a little bit here too. But anyway, so long story short, that happened, and then I didn't tell you this because I didn't realize it until last night when I was working on something else. But through the whole ordeal, I actually lost some pages to the website, and had to kind of figure out how to put those back together. But so basically, the last 3 days, I've been trying to rebuild the website, and then today, thinking that I was so cool with all the stuff I've been learning, I tried to redo the website again with some super badass template that I really wanted to use, and my whole site started going to shit again, and so I panicked and got out of it and went back to the one that was on before, with minor corrections needing to be made. But so yeah, everything's fine.
So basically, to cut a long story short, this is what prompted you to redesign the whole website, which is the main subject of our podcast today, because you've learned a lot, haven't you? Of really cool things that will help anybody to have on, any author on their website.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff too, because like we're going to be talking about some stuff. I thought I kind of knew everything, kind of thing, and I'm like, I don't need any help. And there are some things that I found out that are so simple and basic that just like knocked me out of my freaking socks that I'm not wearing. I was just like, I couldn't believe how easy some of this stuff was, and some of the tools that are used. It goes back to that whole thing where there's so many times through this whole process where I sit back and I say, I can't believe how fucking stupid I was, because this is so much easier.
So we've basically gone around a really long, difficult way of doing it instead of finding. But that's the whole point. If you're starting from scratch, you have to kind of stumble upon these things. Don't you?
A lot of it too is because like I learned HTML back when MySpace was popular, and when you had to when you wanted to put an image in a post, you had to actually know how to do the coding to put an image in a post or something like that. And if you wanted your stupid MySpace page to be all glittery and say something stupid and flash, you had to fucking know the code, and you would drop it in your About Me section, and then all of a sudden your MySpace page would look a certain way. So I learned all that shit then, and because I'm a fucking dinosaur, I don't want to relearn stuff, and there's so many things that have happened to make stuff new and easy and simple. But I'm like, oh, fuck that. I'm just going to do this the hard way because I'm a big, stupid fucking asshole. And,
so yeah. I never even learnt to do that coding side of things, though, so I'm even worse off. So,
So
bearing in mind,
you're gonna learn a lot right now too.
yeah, I
Yeah.
really am. So, what other news have you got then? Before we get into the
I don't fucking
main.
know. Like, honestly, um, if I haven't said it yet, I'm gonna say it again. If you haven't bought Tim Grall's book, your first 1,000 copies, you need to. It's really fucking good, and it's another one of those books that you read and you say like, this is so fucking easy. Why have I been going out of my way to make shit hard? And it just makes you feel stupid after you read it. And I don't
What's
know
it
if
called?
it's your first 1,000 copies. It's normally $2.99, I think. But if I'm not mistaken, right now it's 99 cents. I got an email like yesterday, and I think it said for the next 3 days it's going to be 99 cents.
And what's the title again? What's the author's name?
Tim Grall, Grahl.
Okay.
It's a really, really good book.
How to sell your first 1,000 copies or something?
It's called Your First 1,000 Copies.
Oh.
It's really good.
Okay. I think you sent me a link to that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
people
on
need
a
to get
side
on
note, for those of you who were with us last week and we were talking about that marketing thing that we were getting screwed out of, kind of thing, like we paid for and then never got the stuff and we were all pissed off about it. After many calls and emails and me being a jackass, we got that taken care of and we got refunded. And I told the person that I would not call that person out on the show because around Tuesday I wrote that person an email and said, I'm going to tell everyone about you.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I know I shouldn't have done it, but I was
No, you
really
shouldn't.
upset. And so then I talked to that person and said I wouldn't do it, and that would be just kind of shit. So good news, got the refund. And 1-800-Flowers tried to fuck my mom out of a Mother's Day present, and I fucking yelled at them a bunch, and after about 2 hours of being angry, I got 50% off my order. So yay.
Oh.
So being an asshole helps.
Well, it does in certain ways, but in other ways, maybe not.
Yeah, so anyway.
We always have a very different viewpoint, don't we, on these things? I'm always the one who's going, oh no, don't say that, just be nice, try and keep calm through all this being so utterly British.
You're
the opposite.
Churchill it, and then I fucking Storm and Norman it.
Yeah, we need to go in the middle, don't we?
Like Switzerland in the middle, or
yeah, we need to be like Switzerland.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't think of a political equivalent.
I can't think of a political equivalent.
Jim might be able to help.
We could be Poland.
I don't think Poland's a good example either, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, and in case you guys are wondering, I've watched Mr. Bean's Holiday 3 times in the last 24 hours. And if anyone wants to hand me a gun with bullets in it, I would greatly appreciate it.
No, I've actually got one loaded here in case anybody forces me to watch it ever. It's just so, I know it's a cherished thing and people love Mr. Bean and stuff, but he just, 1, he's creepy, 2, he's irritating, and 3, it's incredibly stressful. It just makes me think sick. I can't watch it.
Okay, if you... I'm going to say this again. There was a movie in the late 50s called Mr. Hewlett's Holiday, and I really think that the Mr. Hewlett character is what the Mr. Bean character is kind of based on. And that's good fun. Like, Mr. Hewlett's Holiday is a really fun movie, and my daughter loves it, and she's seen that movie a million times probably. But fucking hell, dude, Mr. Bean really is stressful. God.
You
And
were
then
totally stressing out, weren't you? Messaged
I'm
me
like stressing out now just remembering it.
I know.
Like getting all, oh. But there's this scene where he's like not wanting to eat oysters, and it's too much for me, dude. I can't handle it.
Well,
Oh my god, I'm all stressed out now. My neck's all tight. Oh, on the weight thing.
oh,
Yeah. So I've lost 11 pounds, which is pretty
woohoo!
awesome.
It
And
is awesome.
and 3 inches around my waist, which is cool. But the thing that tripped me out is that I've lost 5 inches around my chest,
Which is mega.
which is crazy.
Look, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
You're doing really good.
pretty soon. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about
pretty
stuff that people
soon,
care about.
nobody's going to recognize you.
I'll be a broom with a beard and brown shoulders.
Oh, God. Let's hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna be. This part of me will never change. This part of me will, if that makes any sense. Nope. Okay, awesome. I made Zoe watch wrestling, and now we could continue on our thing.
Yeah, he made me watch wrestling, and I have to say, when Kane came up through the through the canvas, or the top, or whatever it's called, and tried to drag Brie down into hell, holy crap, I was there all the way. It was awesome.
Oh my god, that's so awesome! Oh, dude.
He was terrified.
There are so many little things that you have to see now. Okay.
I know, I'm really looking forward to actually getting into some of it now.
And then there's some great beards over on the Wyatt family, huh?
Yeah, they're rocking beards.
Yeah, dude. Not fucking around.
No.
Okay. So, it's been a
And
half
those
hour.
little kids in sheep masks.
You like the sheep masks, huh?
Yeah, singing, he's got the whole world in his hands.
Oh my god. I cannot wait to show you the Undertaker Mankind Hell in the Cell match from like fucking 15 years ago. That's just like...
I would love to go to an actual match with all that proper explosions and things going on, man. I
you
would
like
love
the fire, huh?
it. Yeah, it was awesome.
I cannot believe how excited you are right now. That's awesome. I'm so
It was
happy.
really good. That's such
Okay.
a talk. It was only a matter of time, wasn't it, really? I tried to fight it.
And it was so funny because every time I would send her a clip, she would be like all, ugh.
The eye roll.
And then as soon as she starts watching it, she's like, I think that's Stephanie's line. So if you don't know what we're talking about, she's not sincere. That's what she said. Oh my god. So anyway, we actually have a show to do here. And yeah, so we're doing that right now.
We're just tickling our way through.
Oh, okay.
Have we got a free book to give away today?
Oh yeah, how do you want to do that? What should we do today? Okay, let's do this. If you could tell me what my last blog post was on creeperson.com, we will give you the complete first season of Black Star Canyon.
Good one.
So there you go. Because it was it's a very helpful blog that I think a lot of people would use, but I don't think a lot of people would write the blog.
No, I don't either. So that's why it's a good job you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I do the stuff that people are afraid to talk about.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, the first person to throw that in the Q&A bit or on the YouTube comments will get that. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So now let's talk about what. Actually, before we talk about the author website, I think we should hit those first two things.
Mhm.
Kindle countdown deals. We talked about this before. About 6 months ago ish, in KDP Select, Amazon started offering this new program. Besides the 5 free days that you could do, and again, I'm not sure if when you do the countdown deals you lose your free days. I think you do. I'm not 100% on that. But what the countdown deals are, I thought it was something like where you put your book on sale and then there's like a clock or something, because that's what I think of when I think of countdown. But what it is, let's say your book is $5.99, okay?
Mhm.
And then you want to have a sale price of 99 cents. You put the sale price of 99 cents on, and then every day that passes, the price goes up to the regular price. So the first day it'll be 99 cents. The next day it'll be $1.99. The next day it'll be $2.99. The next day it'll be $3.99, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of an incentive to get people to buy, and then Amazon has like a countdown page that shows like, oh, these books are on countdown deals right now. Hurry up and get them. Blah 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 blah.
So can you
So
set what? Can you set how many days it's for? Because what happens if your book's only $2.99?
I don't know how that part works, because
Oh.
again, your book has to be in Select to do it, and we don't have any books in Select right now.
Ah, but my dad does.
Oh yes, so he should just try it and see what happens. Because like I'm honestly thinking like I should just do a book. Because remember how I was telling you about I'm gonna do that book on creative writing and stuff like that with the
Yeah.
blog post. Maybe I'll do it with that and just kind of see.
Yeah, and see what happens. So,
Yeah.
because we need to see how it works. That option actually came up, and we got confused about that because we knew we wanted to do the 5-day free promotion thing, and he's only used 3 days so far, and he's going to do some other promotional stuff and then do a further weekend or something later on in the 3 months. Because you can do
Yeah.
that, can't you, for your five
Yep.
days? But we weren't sure what the yeah.
It's a
Presumably-
way better idea now that I know what it is compared to
Yeah.
before. That's fucking stupid. You get a clock, yay, a clock. But that just sounds really fucking cool.
Well, it does, doesn't it? Because people are going to get that pressured feeling, thinking it's going to go up. If I don't do it now, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And it is psychological, just little things, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? On a horrible little side note, and maybe we'll talk about this next week, but have you heard of Thunderclap?
No.
Thunderclap is a thing, and we're going to talk about it next week because I want to look into it some more to see if it's something we should actually do for the Black Star Canyon Season 2 launch. It's something where everyone signs up for it, and it's basically giving permission to this site to set out a tweet or a Facebook message all at the same time. So if we want people to say, I'm getting Black Star Canyon Season 2 today, and we get like 100 people to commit to letting this Thunderclap do this, what it does is it sends out a tweet at the same time for all these people with like a hashtag that says like Black Star Canyon or something like that, and puts it all out at once so that it would start trending on like Twitter and stuff like that. So it's kind of a neat idea, and I think because we're doing the event page, like for the party,
Yeah.
the launch party and all that stuff, that it might be something cool to look into. So we're going to look into that and give you more information about it next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me just write that down. Thunderclap, yeah.
Yeah, I've written it down.
The SPP guys did it for their Fiction Unbox thing, but because that their thing's still not done, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know. Okay, but anyway, so now Amazon cart. Is it legal?
Yeah, carry on.
No, go ahead.
No, have we finished everything about the countdown deals?
Well, I mean, that's all I know about it.
So is
So,
that just when you go into the page when you're setting up your book in the first place, or can you go back into it if it's
well, I
on
mean, if
select?
I wanted to, I could put any of our books back into Select,
Yeah, no, but
but
we
I would have
don't
to
at the
take them
minute.
down off of the other. Like, I could put some of the Creepology books back in Select if I want, but I would have to
Yeah,
take them down off of the other sites.
yeah, because it has to be exclusive, doesn't
You
it?
know what? I don't think gonorrhea is on any other site.
Is it not?
No.
It might be worth putting it up and having a look.
Hmm.
We might try that for next time as well and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So anyhow, Amazon cart. So Amazon reached an agreement with Twitter, and basically, when you go onto Amazon and um, the buttons, the social media buttons, and you push the Twitter button to share this item on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
If
mean
you
when you buy something, it says at the end, share this item?
you don't even have to buy it. If you just go to a page
Yeah,
on
and
the
it has
right
the
hand side, there's the buttons
yeah. So if you share this item with
on
Twitter,
Twitter. Yeah. If you do that, it'll have a hashtag that says Amazon cart. Okay. Now, what happens is if anyone else in your Twitter feed retweets that, I don't know if it favorites it too, but if you retweet that, it automatically, if you have an Amazon account, and I think, I don't know how, I mean, I guess it's the same email address. If your Twitter and your Amazon are on the same email address, it will automatically put that product into your Amazon cart. So next time you go on Amazon, you can buy the book if you want to, or the product.
you see the way you said it, just the last sentence made it sound so you can buy it if you want to. But I think there's something really creepy about the fact that you go into you're putting stuff in your basket and you're like, what? There's something in there already? I didn't put that in there. I know several people in my family that would freak out at that. My father being the main one, and your mother being
I
another one.
was just gonna bring her up because, like,
She would
yesterday,
go mental.
she asked me. We were talking about Mr. Hewlett's Holiday, and she's like, "Can I just go into Barnes and Noble and buy that?" And I'm like, "Or you could just get it on Amazon." And she's like, "I don't want to get it on Amazon." And I'm like, "Why not?" And she's like, "Because I have to give them my credit card." And I'm like, it's not that bad, right? Like, I'm like, first off, as much as it pains me to say, you can't pay cash on an internet site. I'm sorry about that, but you have more of an opportunity of someone stealing your credit card at Barnes and Noble than you do on Amazon. And I don't mean like in BarnesandNoble.com, but if you go into a store and hand somebody your credit card, they're more likely to steal it than Amazon.
In any place, anybody, anywhere she gives a credit card over
Yeah.
is going to be way dodgier than Amazon, which is this massive tool that can't afford to allow those things to happen very often.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Totally.
But I knew
And
for a fact she is one of the first people, and my dad would be another. He would be like, "This is just another step. This is just another. I knew this would happen." How do they know?
because they
Freaked
read
out.
1984
Yeah,
back in the
exactly.
60s and have like totally lost their goddamn minds.
So I don't know. I mean, in one way, it's genius, because you don't have to buy the book. You don't have to buy anything in your car. But there'll be
My whole
several.
thing is, though, dude, seriously, like, there's been one time when I put something in my cart and then for some reason I didn't buy it, and then like weeks later I found it in my cart and I was pissed off. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm
I
like, "I don't
know,
remember fucking even looking." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, no, I did do that."
I
But
know,
I
because
was mad.
you instantly think, "Who the hell's put this in here?" don't you? You never think it was you.
But the whole thing is, it like no one on Twitter or anything. Like I didn't get anything from Twitter saying, "Hey, by the way, we're going to be doing this thing with Amazon now." I got an email from Amazon through KDP saying, "Hey, you might want to try this new thing we're doing." You know, but like if I'm just some fucking Joe on the street and I'm like retweeting something just because like, oh yeah, I'll retweet that, and then all of a sudden I see my book in a shopping cart, like I don't want people getting mad at me. Like, how the fuck did he fucking?
Yeah, exactly. Is he looking into my mind and making me like buy them subliminally, buy his book?
Or something, or like, how did he hack into my Amazon account?
Exactly. There's something weird about it, and I don't know how they've allowed that to happen. I don't know.
I think if they like made a big stink about it, so everyone would know.
Well,
all
I
you have
wouldn't
to do
know.
is hashtag Amazon cart. It's so crazy that that's all you have to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's scary.
It's just, it makes you, like, it doesn't make me, well, it kind of does. I'll get scared right now for a minute here. It makes me think, like, it's so easy for something like that to happen. Like, what if, like, some crazy cyber terrorist does, like, I don't know, hashtag poop on a stick or something like that, and then all of a sudden everyone's computers who even like click on the tweet or something like explode in their face, you know?
I know. This is what I mean. If it's so easily connected to stuff, it's very weird.
It's fucking Skynet, dude.
I know. It's just the start of it.
Happen.
As soon as you mentioned it, I was like, whoa. I wouldn't, and it's stupid because I'd be the first person to be like, but I just know how absent-minded. And also, I know there's several people, like my mum, she's the opposite end of the scale, who just press buy out of, press okay, check out. And
well, I put it in my cart. I don't want to make Amazon upset.
I must want it. If it's in my cart, I must have done it and forgotten. Click, buy. So maybe that's the reason why, but she totally would do that.
But honestly, from a writer, like from my standpoint here, when you want people buying your stuff, you want people excited to buy your stuff. You want, like... You
don't want them conned into it.
Or not just conned into it, but if someone accidentally buys a book, do you think they're going to read it right away? Probably not. Do you think they're going to, like... I have a feeling that if that were to happen, someone would get the book a month later or something like that after retweeting a post, and then they might not even read the book for 6 months and forget they even have it in their Kindle.
Well, just retweeting it doesn't mean that you want the book anyway. It might just mean that you're passing it on to somebody who you think would be interested in it. You know what I mean?
And I feel bad because before I realized what Amazon Cart was, I always share the link to the Amazon thing off of the Amazon page.
Oh so my God! So you've been a part of it.
Amazon Cart. I totally have, but I didn't know what the fuck it was. I just thought it was like, hey, use this hashtag. You know? But like...
So you tried the old trendy and down with the kids and you ended up with your cart full of crap.
First off, you are never allowed to say anything along those lines to me ever again. So let's just make that fucking clear right now. All trendy with the kids.
It's okay. You've completely gone back downhill again now after that.
Okay.
And Clyde.
Oh, Jim, if you're still there, let me tell you. On Mr. Bean's holiday, he starts dancing to Love Machine, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Love Machine. It's Jim's favourite Girls Aloud song.
And I was like, oh my God.
Love us for saying that. But yeah. There's nothing wrong with liking Girls Aloud.
The song was super catchy. How's it go again?
I'm not singing it. I'm not going to fall for that. No. You should totally know.
Yeah, I can't remember. I keep thinking Sound of the Underground.
Sound of the Underground's my favourite.
Yeah.
Right,
But
I just want to mention, by the way, I think we should mention this on every podcast when we
did you watch
remember.
Eurovision last night?
No, I watched some of it, but I missed all the major parts. And
Did
you
that
think it's
tranny
funny,
win?
but yes, she did.
That's awesome.
She totally won. Conchita Wurst from Austria. She totally won it. Good
That's
on her.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I didn't actually hear the song. That's the whole point, really. I missed all of
Okay.
that.
So what
So-
did you want to say on every show?
What I wanted to say is, we've got to try and remember to tell everybody that they are still perfectly able to download ebooks from their Amazon account if they download the free Kindle app onto their PC or iPhone. Because
Let's talk about that for a second.
there's more and more people cropping up saying, oh, my dad's book is out. For anybody who's interested, it's called Fallodon, Fallodon, and it is an alternative history fiction novel about the First World War and Sir Edward Grey's involvement in it after an accident with his wife's accident. And it's really good. So it's just had a 3-day free trial, and it's back on, for purchase again now at £3 something on Kindle. And a lot of people, he's on Twitter and stuff, and we've been tweeting for him and trying to promote stuff and get stuff out there. And a lot of people have said, oh, it's such a shame, I would love to read this, but I don't have a Kindle, or I don't have an e-reader of any kind. And I've had to butt into several people's my brother's friends' conversations and stuff, and say you can download the Kindle app free. It's a free app. You download it onto.
When you're talking to your brother's friends, go. All those porn apps you have on your phone. The Kindle app's just the same, and it's free.
Well, apparently, the guy who was saying about that particular one said, no, he's just got a Nokia, so he doesn't have that at all, but he's obviously got a computer, so you can still sit and read it on there if you want to. So I think we need to kind of mention that. We need to put it on...
No, because I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but when I was giving away Zombie Alpha for free to people on Facebook, I would ask them, do you want a .mobi or do you want an EPUB? And they're like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, oh, okay, well, Mobi's for the Kindle app, and EPUB's basically for everything else. And they're like, oh, well, I don't have either one of those. And an EPUB, you could just open. Like, if you have ever opened a PDF or any kind of attachment on an email that had words in it, you can open an EPUB. And as far as, the Kindle thing goes, if you go, and I think, I'm not 100% on this, but I think if you go to any ebook page on Amazon, on the right-hand side, there's a link to get the free Kindle app if you don't already have it on your computer. Yeah. And all it does, it's really cool. Any book you download, it keeps it for you in the little Kindle thing. So when you open Kindle, it will have all the books that you got. I think it even comes with a couple free books in there just to get you going on it.
And
but there's just
some classics on there.
Yeah. It always remembers your pages, like what page you were on. And if you read on your phone and your computer and your iPad, let's say, and you're reading on your computer, and then you leave and you go somewhere and you open it up on your phone. Jim says, yes, Love Machine is a classic, as is Mr. Hewlett's Holiday. Thank you. Mr. Hewlett's Holiday is
I need to see that. I have not seen it.
Good. It's really good.
I need to see it.
But if you go, say you're waiting for a bus or you're in a doctor's office and you want to read the book you were reading on your computer, when you turn on your phone and open Kindle, it will take you to the last place you read it at on your computer.
Yeah, it updates it all the time, doesn't it? So you don't have to
let's say it's like a nonfiction book or something. and there was something you're like, oh shit, I can't remember how to set up a mailing list or something like that. You could type mailing list into the search bar, and it'll show you all the pages that has the word mailing list in it. You know, so you could easily get to it. And then there's things too where you could highlight stuff. So like you'll be reading your book, and then you'll see kind of like a little broken up dotted line under a certain part. If you hover over that, it'll say like 700 people thought this was useful and highlighted it, kind of thing. There's so many cool things you could do. You could highlight stuff in a book, you know. It's
Yeah. But this is like, these are all things that you can do obviously on your Kindle itself, or your Kobo or whatever you've got. But you can actually have the same, all the same properties, but you have it on your PC. So there's no reason to think you can't download ebooks.
Yeah, and then for those of you who don't know how to sideload something, like let's say you are getting a free ebook from me, and I send you one, or send it to you on Facebook, or send it to you in an email, and you have a Kindle, all you have to do when you open the file, before you open it, right-click on it, and it'll say Open With, and then just go to Kindle app, and it'll open it in your Kindle. It's really easy.
Wow. We've had so many people, seriously, there's been so many friends of my dad, particularly, who, you know, don't have Kindles, or they don't, you know, they've had trouble doing it. And as long as you have an Amazon account, you just have to log into your Amazon account, and it'll just download it straight onto there, won't it? And have all you can download what you want onto it. And there's loads of free classics and all sorts of books on there, so we need to point that out more.
All sorts of free stuff, dude. I troll for free stuff on there all the time just because I'm a cheapskate, and I always find cool shit. Like I got the complete Sherlock Holmes, and it's like 12,000 pages. Huh? It was free.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it was on Amazon or if it was on iTunes, but it was on one of those sites. So
I'll have to have a look at that.
And you know what else I found out? There are books that are free on Goodreads that aren't free on Amazon.
Wow.
Like I got that Agatha Christie book on Goodreads.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
On Amazon.
And how do you download that? Is that the same onto your Kindle?
I just downloaded it and then fucking... Sorry, I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb there.
You've got the F-bomb loads of times.
Okay, and let me tell you something else. Let's just say you get a PDF or you get an EPUB, but you really want it on your Kindle. If you have Kindle Previewer, which you should have if you have Kindle, you could just open it in the Kindle Previewer, and it will convert that file into a Mobi file. That's actually how I make our Mobi files when I send them to Amazon.
That's kind of confusing.
I just make
that bit again.
Maybe I'll just put a blog post up about it. Like, like for instance, the Agatha Christie book I got was a PDF, but I wanted it on my Kindle.
What's the title again?
And then there were none.
That's it.
Okay. I opened it. I opened up my Kindle Previewer, and there's a thing right there that says, add any file in here you want, or whatever. And so you search the file, you put it in there, and then the previewer will turn that file into a Mobi file, so you can have it in your Kindle.
So you can read it just the same. And do you get a cover and everything? Does it look exactly the same?
It depends on what the file is.
Right.
And if the file has all that information.
Oh,
but I mean, the iBooks app on the Mac, at least, and on my iPhone, I think the iBooks stuff looks better than the Kindle stuff. But I just like Kindle better. Like I have most of my stuff is on Kindle.
Yeah. Okay. I just think we need to mention that because there's we need to write it on the site or something as well.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere
I'll definitely do a blog post about that. I'll write that.
It needs to be somewhere because for some reason lots of people aren't aware of it. My dad was blown away. He couldn't believe that he could read his book on his laptop and fiddle about with it. He has got a Kindle, but he couldn't believe he could like send files through his PC and blew his mind. Doesn't take a lot these days, but he was pretty impressed.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's actually talk about what we're here for, because we've already been on for almost an hour.
Okay.
Okay, so how to build an author website. As you know, I totally destroyed our website and was freaking out about it and all this other shit. So I was doing a lot of research and finding out a bunch of stuff. And one of the coolest things you can do, especially if you have absolutely zero idea, like if you're Zoe and you want to build a website from scratch, okay?
Can I just point out, I have a WordPress site that I've been fiddling about with today, and I've nearly put my fist through my laptop 7, 8 times. So this is going to be very useful. Continue.
Okay. All right. So if a lot of the information, not all of it, but a lot of the information that I'm going to be talking about is actually from Simon Whistler, who does Rock and Self-Publishing Podcast, which is a great show, and he's a super fucking cool guy. In fact, he will be on this show with us next week.
Yeah, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, he's a super great guy. I can't wait to have him on.
Yeah, he's going to be really good.
He has a 10 or 11 video, 10 or 11 videos that are a tutorial on how to build an author website. And if you seriously have absolutely zero idea how to do anything on the computer, I think that is probably hands down the best thing I have ever seen for someone who's trying to build a brand off of themselves as an author, trying to put a website together. It's brilliant, the stuff that's on there.
So you telling me my dad could go to there, because my dad's at the stage where he has to create his own. I mean, he should have done it ages ago, but he's hard work. So he needs to do his website for the book.
And he shouldn't do it for the book, he should do it for himself.
Oh, that's going to be even tougher.
I know, and here's the thing, it's because you're an author. I mean, you're not an author necessarily, but like your dad is an author. Yeah. And if your dad ever wants to write another book,
mm-hmm.
he needs to have a place where all of his books are going to be.
Yeah, okay. No, I understand that.
How simple this was for him, I think he's going to be more likely to want to write another book.
I think he does. He's got ideas already.
Yeah,
he hasn't...
so he needs to do a rogerhumphrey'sauthor.com or something like that.
Yeah, he totally does, because because of the first one, and it's set in Northumberland, and he's got loads of photographs of the house and, you know, and the area and the beach and all that kind of thing. So he would be having, I mean, where would you do that as a page for Faladin with all the bits on there? We're jumping ahead.
Get to all of that, but if you want to give your dad a book idea for an alternative history book,
yeah,
have him write a book about Germany actually marching into Poland backwards. I think that would be hysterical.
Oh dear. Okay. So moving on.
Because that way the Poles think that the Germans were leaving, and that's why they let them occupy.
Move along. By the way, I was watching last night. Oh my god. No, seriously, it's the Universal Blu-ray set for, you know, the Universal Monsters Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
And I watched The Wolfman last night. I love that film. Anyway.
They look great on Blu-ray, though?
Oh, yeah. It looks so cool. Awesome. But I was watching all the featurettes and things afterwards, and the first one, I think it was the first one, was saying about the writer. Can't remember his name, of course,
Kurt
now.
Seidemann.
Yes. Yeah. He was Polish during the war. He was a refugee and everything through the war, Second World War. and he was doing all. There was all sorts of bits about, you know, the sort of comparisons between, because with Bela Lugosi being marked with the 5-pointed star and stuff, and how he could see when the next victim was going to be branded with the 5-pointed star and all this kind of stuff. And it was, God, it's really dark. And I didn't even realise that. And I've seen that film loads of times. But it's just like, if anybody hasn't seen those films and watched all the documentaries and stuff, I've got the Jack Pierce documentary to watch tonight because I was up too late last night, so I'm going to watch that tonight. But they're so good, just so packed full of, and it was all about the full documentary about Lon Chaney and stuff, Junior, and it was tragic, so sad.
And just on a side note, a lot of those documentaries are hosted by a guy named David J. Schall, who is a historian on classic horror in Hollywood.
Is he the guy with the ginger tash?
Yeah, and the glasses. He looks like Ron Swanson's maybe brother.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, he's like
these particular ones weren't though, by the way.
No, I know, but on a lot of those, like if you get like the pack that has all the Universal Monster Collection DVDs, he hosts a lot of them. Like I know he does.
He did the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I watched that one.
Black Lagoon. He did the Dracula one, and I think he does the Frankenstein one. I'm not 100% on that one, but I know he does a few of them. But he is like my idol when it comes to researching classic Universal films. If you've ever heard any of my like Cryptic Creeperson episodes on Creeperson Cast, like he is like my go-to source for any kind of information. He's awesome.
Another source as well who was on there, and he was featured a lot in the Talking Heads bit about the Lon Chaney Jr. was another historian called Gregory Mank.
Yeah.
And he was actually, I don't know if anybody listens to Gil and Roscoe's Bodacious Horror podcast, but he is actually, there was an interview with him on the last one they did about The Invisible Man, because they're going through the series at the minute and doing, you know, going through all the featurettes of a film each week. And they did The Invisible Man, and they had him on. Yeah, and they did this awesome interview with him, and he's just so knowledgeable about everything, just so, like, he's spoken to so many people that we're all involved in it all and everything. It's just fascinating, and he's got loads of books out as well, so if you want to look up Gregory Mank.
A bigger guy?
Yeah, he's got like big grey hair and these like really sort of light greeny grey eyes, like quite tanned, like quite a big face and big grey hair.
I think David J. Schall wrote American Gothic, or not American Gothic, Hollywood Gothic, I think is the name of.
Oh, he might have done.
He's great too. Okay, so anyway, back to building a website.
Yes, sorry, but
no, that was a rad rabbit trail. I got excited.
Yeah, I did as well.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get your domain name, obviously. Now, try to stay with a .com. Don't run into the .net or .book or whatever the hell dots they have, because .com is what everyone's going to assume your website is anyway. And you want it to be as easy for people to remember as possible. And you want it to be your name, like we were just talking about. Don't name it after your book or a book character or anything like that. So whatever your author name is, and if you, let's say your name is fucking John Smith or something like that, and you can't get johnsmith.com, get John Smith Author or John Smith Books or something along those lines, so people know what they're doing. Now, a lot of this information I can't do because of the filmmaking and the band and all this other crap, which is another big fucking problem that we've been talking about, because I'm starting to think that our site, or my site, is getting cluttered, and it's like making me get a little weird and OCD. So, but if you're just a
It's only a
writer,
matter of time.
if you're just a writer, definitely do this. Now you could get your domains at a ton of places. Like from the beginning of GoDaddy, I've been using GoDaddy. So, but I know that there's a lot of other places you could go that a lot of people like better. But I use GoDaddy. For hosting, because once you get your domain, you're going to have to actually have your website somewhere. So you need to get a hosting plan. And again, I have GoDaddy. HostGator, I've heard, is cheaper and really good, and the customer service is really good. I've never had a problem with GoDaddy customer service, but I've heard that people have. So those are
What's
the
the problem
two.
with GoDaddy?
I don't know. I hear people talk crap on GoDaddy all the time lately. Like, don't use GoDaddy. Whatever you do, don't use GoDaddy. But I've never had a problem with them.
Okay.
So I
So
don't know.
why can't you just use WordPress or something?
You were going to get into WordPress because once you have your hosting, you want to actually install WordPress. But I think the idea here is when you have your site like on WordPress, let's say, like on their actual site, you still don't technically own your site. You're kind of like sharecropping.
Right.
Like if they decide that they're done or they decide that they're going to change something or destroy their site or whatever, your site is then destroyed.
They keep saying to me on WordPress that I could just update my thing to BritZombieGirlArtBlog.com or something instead of .wordpress.com for $18 or something. What does that mean? Is that what you're saying?
They're trying to sell you a hosting plan, so you would then own your own site. Or they might just be trying to sell you a domain. But for $18, that's a ripoff. I wouldn't do it.
Right. Okay.
You could get a domain for like 10. So,
Okay.
maybe even less depending on where you go. So anyway, I would say install WordPress once you get your hosting because WordPress is really easy. A lot of people use it, and there's a ton of plugins for it. There are also other things like Drupal that you could use instead of WordPress if you want.
What was that again?
Drupal.
Drupal?
Yeah, when you go on your hosting, it'll give you options of like what processor or whatever you could use to build your site. Or if you're a genius or Mike Cadaver's daughter, you could just build your site from scratch using CSS or HTML or whatever.
Let's leave that for another day.
Yeah, let's fuck all that shit. I don't want to do that either. So anyway, most of the information I'm going to be giving you is based on WordPress. So,
well, you're doing it from
WordPress.
you're describing to people how you've done it, so they can look into other stuff if they want to. But you're just doing it for our particular site, aren't
but
we?
a lot of the tools I'm going to be talking about using are available for WordPress and not for anything else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we're just describing from our point of view, really, at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, once you do all that, your site will open up, and if you want to see, and again, you really should just go look at Simon's video tutorials because they're great. Go to rockingselfpublishing.com and then go to resources and scroll down until you see a thing that says how to create an author website. And then if you're not listening to Rocking Self Publishing podcast, you're an idiot, and you need to start doing that. And he's got a very soothing voice. And you could listen to him, and it's very nice, and it doesn't set you on edge or anything like that.
He has got a lovely voice, but to me, he just sounds British, whereas to you, it's some kind of, I don't know, Mary Poppins singing you to sleep.
He doesn't sound like Mary Poppins or Dick Van Dyke. Right?
You sure?
Mary Poppins? That's like Gollum, right? Shingle. Okay, so anyway, if you look at his site that he built to show you how to build it, you could go to johndoeauthor.com, and it's like a fake author page. And through his tutorials, he'll teach you how to put that together to have a site that looks kind of like that, which is just hands down amazing. Some of the things that he talked about that were things that I didn't know, let's say, was you're going to want to have some sort of like graphics and stuff on your site. Now, when I was using a PC, I had, Microsoft Paint, I had Photoshop Elements and all that other shit, Adobe Illustrator, things like that. And then when I moved on the Mac, I downloaded GIMP because GIMP is free, and all this other stuff. And then he's like, or you could just go to pixlr.com/editor, and it's pixlr.com/editor, and it basically gives you the exact same thing Photoshop does, but it's on the internet. It's not something you have to download. It's not something that'll bog your computer down when you have it open. And it's very user-friendly. It's way more user-friendly than GIMP.
So can you save things and everything just like you would in Adobe? It's exactly the same process.
Yeah. In fact,
the site.
Yeah, the picture that's on his site right there, he did on that. The header on our site, on the creeperson.com site, I did the picture cropping on there, but it didn't have the font I wanted on there. So I had to just save the JPEG of the header and then open it up in GIMP to do the lettering.
Right, okay.
But, so that's a neat tool that I did not even know existed until 2 days ago.
Just bear with me 2 seconds.
Okay, let's see where she goes. If she goes upstairs, that means her cat used the litter box.
All right.
If she sits back down, Doris probably had to go out.
No, it's the cat driving me mad wanting to be out.
Okay, I knew it was somebody. Okay, so anyway, so that's a really good thing. And he gives a width. Okay, you know what? I'm jumping ahead of myself.
You've got to remember as well that he's going to describe things as well, so you need to discuss what you want to change in yours.
Yeah, let's check this out. His videos, they're like about 10 minutes a piece, and there's like 11 of them. Okay, so he goes into detail and shows you what he's clicking and all that other stuff. But there are some things, and one of the things I want to talk about is the theme that you have for your site. Now, as we talked about earlier, the parabola theme was the one that I fucking broke. And you're going to want to pick a theme for your site. So what you do, when you go into WordPress on the left-hand side, you can go down, and I think it's Appearance. You click on it, and then a box opens up on the side, and it says Themes and a bunch of other things. Click on Themes. And then it'll say, like, Active Themes, and it'll give you something like 2012, 2013, 2014, and it's just like the very basic templates that you could use to build your site on. And it'll show you what they look like and all this other stuff. If you go to Install Themes, it'll give you a search bar. And underneath the search bar, there's all these things that you could click, like let's say you want columns, and let's say you want a flexible header that you could fuck with and all this other stuff. You don't need to click all that stuff unless you know what you're actually looking for, but you really don't need to click any of that.
I didn't know you could do that, you see. I've just done mine today, and I really could have done with, because mine's just done like a whole scroll of like one post, and it just goes on forever, whereas I would like mine done in summary so people can choose.
What theme did you pick?
Can't remember now.
Okay, well, so I went through a ton of different themes, and basically the things that I wanted on my front page were...
Oh, Hemingway.
Oh, you picked Hemingway?
Yeah.
Is it cool? You like
Kind
it?
of. Yeah, but not really.
Yeah, not really. Okay. So, the things that I needed on my front page were I needed to be able to put a sign up form for the mailing list. I needed to have social icons. I wanted to have summaries of my posts, not my full blog posts, because that would just totally bog the page down.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Originally, I wanted a slider, like some sort of slider that could have the pictures on. Like if you go to jalocowchow.com, you could see the slider that was in Parabola that I really, really liked a lot. Um, but those were the things I was looking for. And then after thinking about it, I'm like, if there was one thing I could do without, it would be the slider. Because most of the things I was finding would have almost all the things I wanted, but not all of them. So here are the themes that I picked, that I tried, that were okay, but I just didn't end up using them, or I did. Okay, so Misty Lake is what Simon used for the JohnDoeAuthor.com. So if you like the way that looks, that's Misty Lake. And it doesn't have to look just like that. You could change the colors, you could change stuff around and all that other stuff. If you go to creeperson.com, right now the theme I'm using is called Debut. And I'm 98% liking it. There's a couple things about it that just kind of piss me off a little bit that I want to fix, but we'll see. There's another one called Epic that's pretty cool, and I had that up for like 2 days, but I ended up going against it. But ones that I tried that I wasn't like over the moon over was Hemingway, because I didn't think I had enough pretty stuff to make that work. First off, independent publisher is another good one if you're just a writer and you just want a simple but good looking blog kind
What's that
of
one?
site. It's called Independent Publisher. If you go to creepersoncast.com, and I think slasherton.com is this one too, but Magazino, and this one's cool. It has this big slider, and instead of having blog posts with the blurbs, it has pictures that you could hover on, and when you hover on the picture, it'll tell you what that blog post is about, which is a really cool thing. I really like that, but I don't like how limited you are at changing the colors and the theme. I mean, not the colors, but like the colors, the headers. It doesn't really give you a lot of options, and that kind of pisses me off a little bit. And Parabola is fucking amazing, but the front page you cannot fuck with, and that drives me absolutely crazy. If I could put a sign-up form on Parabola on the front page, I would be using that hands down. But 3 that I might fuck with this week
Oh, God.
is called 16, Quark, and the one that I started fucking with last night, but I got scared and I said you would have a really good time with it. It's called One Tone, spelt out as one word. It's fucking tits. It is such a good looking site.
Well, I can't find that one.
I don't know why. And there was I was listening to Rock and Self Publishing last night while I was fucking around, and he had a guy on his show. Fuck, his name was David J. something or another. Oh man, I can't remember his name. But I'm almost 100% positive. He has a beautiful site, and I'm almost 100% that the template they use for his site is One Tone.
Really?
And I was, because I wanted to use One Tone, but I didn't understand where I would put certain things. And then I checked this guy's site out, and I'm like, oh my god, I could totally put that there. Oh, dude, this is so fucking cool. He's got a great looking site. So if I could figure out how to use One Tone effectively, oh man.
You've got to bear in mind as well is that a lot of people who are setting out and doing this now won't need the specific things that you need in the specific way. They'll just need.
I know. I have way too much stuff, dude. I do.
It's not just the content. It's you like things in a particular way as well, and you don't like things other ways. Whereas a lot of people will just need to get that information up there. So, what kind of things do you suggest that they would need on their first home page?
Well, that's very good you ask. When you use WordPress, by default, your home page will have your blogs. And some writers blog a lot, some don't blog very often at all. So either way, it's a good jump-off point. So you'll have your blog there on your home page, and then in your navigation bar, you'll have different pages that you can click on. So you're going to want to, you're going to want to fill those in, and I'll tell you what you should have on those in a minute here. But you should have a mailing list sign-up form. If you don't have a mailing list yet, you have screwed up completely, and you need to start one right away, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And you should also have your social media links on there, so people can follow you on Twitter and Facebook and all that other shit. Now, as far as the pages go, let's talk about pages for a minute. Because on Simon's johndoeauthor.com, he has some pages on there. I think there's other pages that you should have on there as well if you have the content for it. Okay. If you go to my junky ass site, you'll see I have about me, I have books, films, music, and all this other shit, and then under there there's like subcategories up the yazoo, and that's just because I categorize stuff way too much. And it's making it really...
No, but you need to categorize it.
To fucking lose my mind, is what I'm getting at.
No, but the point is you need to categorize things, but there's just, you have an awful lot of material in there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If that was a normal situation, like if that was just your books, for example...
There would still be a lot of books.
Yeah, but you could do your books...
Using.
Well, earlier, you could do your books along the navigation.
I don't think I would put them. I still don't think I would put them up in the nav bar because there's all this other stuff. Like on the pages he has now. Real quick, when you're using WordPress, when you're doing a blog, that's a post. So you would go to new post if you want to make a blog. If you want to make a page on your site, you have to go to pages.
What's the difference? Why would you make a page?
When you go into your dashboard on WordPress, on the side right here, you'll have post and page. And then you can either look at all your posts or add a new post, and that'll just put it in your blog right away.
So that'll go onto your home page, and it'll just
go onto your home page. Exactly.
Yeah. But if you add a page, will it go along the navigation bar?
It should. Now, here's the thing. Some different themes do this different. Like Misty Lake and Debut and Epic, if you make a new page with no parent category, it'll end up in your nav bar. There's other themes, though, where you have to manually put your pages into your navigation bar. And you do that under menus, and Simon can walk you through that on his video.
Okay. And how would you give me examples of what you would put for your pages along the navigation bar then?
Well, again, mine are about books, films, music.
No, but if you were just doing it as an author.
Yes, okay. So what Simon says to put on there that every author should have are about the author, books, and we'll talk about book pages in a minute because there's this plugin that is freaking tits that we'll talk about in a second. And then he has book excerpts. He's got works in progress, newsletter, and contact. Okay? So those are the pages that he has on his site. There's also some pages that I think should be on there, which are appearances or events. Like, let's say you're doing a
Yeah.
book signing, or you are going to be speaking somewhere. A lot of writers end up doing a lot of speaking engagements.
Yeah.
If you're a performer of any kind, you know, you need to have like just a thing that people could click on and go, oh, next month Creep's going to be in Sioux Falls doing blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know? So I like that. Now, you can either have a coming soon or works in progress page. Works in progress, it's kind of vague, and on that you would just be putting, yeah, you know, like I have this book coming up. I'm working on it right now. It's really fun. You'll love it. It'll be out here. Coming soon is like you don't have to update it as frequently. It's like this book will be out on this date about, and this is what
Yeah.
the book's about. Now, I don't do either one of those because in my widgets, in my sidebar, I have a thing saying upcoming releases, and it'll have dates for it, and it's on every page on the side.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have it in my bar, because I have a widget for it, and we'll talk about widgets in a little bit. But another thing that I have is a tab for free books, because like all of our starter books that are a part of a series we have for free on Amazon and Apple and Kobo. So we have like SAC, free Kindle books, Black Star
Bloodless
Canyon
Romance.
Episode 1 and Bloodless Romance for free. So I have those there. Now, there are better ways to have them up there than I have them up there now. So if you come back in about a week, that'll look really fucking good. But as of right now, it's not amazing. So that's that. So if you don't have free books yet, or you just have one book, you don't need to worry about doing a free books thing. But you definitely need to have a newsletter thing. You definitely need to have a contact thing. You need to have a books page, and you need to have about the author. Definitely. Like those are like the hands down. You have to have those pages.
So how do you set out each page to make them look pretty? Or to make them...
Well, whatever theme you have, it'll already have that set up in it. And then all you have to do is write the page like you're writing a blog post. And when you hit update, it'll be there.
Okay.
I mean, you could add pictures into them just like you can in a blog post. You know, there's all sorts of stuff you could do. But if you have your theme, everything will be set up the same way.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
With that said, let's talk about some other fun things that I found out this week. And a lot of these have to do with something called plugins. Now, with WordPress...
Do you think you need to mention widgets first? Which is the most complicated, widgets or plugins?
Well, some of the plugins are used with the widgets.
Right, okay.
So we'll talk about that in a second here. Well, let's just hit widgets real quick. If you go on widgets under appearance, it'll take you to this thing. And there's different things you could have, and you have different sidebars depending on what kind of theme you get. Some you have header widgets, you have footer widgets, you have right sidebar widgets, you have left sidebar widgets. You have, sometimes some sites have multiple footer areas. So you'll have 1 footer, 2 footer, 3 footer, 4 footer on
So you probably...
Parabola.
You would have lost my dad about half an hour ago here.
Okay. Well, if you go to creeperson.com, let's just use this as an example right now. On creeperson.com, there is a right sidebar, and there is a footer. Okay? In the footer, I have things like a Facebook like button that has like my face and all the faces of people who like me on Facebook. I have a Twitter feed. My dog's trying to kill another dog. Hang on a second. Row, row, row. Knock it off. Okay. They have I have a Twitter feed widget that whenever I post a tweet, it will automatically appear on my website as well.
Yeah,
And you can
I've got that.
follow me on there. Yeah. So, and those are in my footer. There's also like archives, so you could hit the months of my blog archives. There is a 2014 releases that I hope to have out this year. There is let me see what else is in the bottom. You could do an RSS feed, and most of these things are in WordPress, and you just click and you drag them over and drop them in what area you want them to be. On my side footer, on the sidebar right there, not side footer, on the sidebar, I have like this week's top seller. I have my MailChimp widget that so you could sign up for the mailing list. I have there's a series thing that as I start putting more books in this thing called my book table, which we'll talk about in a second, that'll get a little bit thicker. And you could do like just text boxes, so you could put affiliate links to Amazon. Like I used to have a carousel wheel. I don't know if I still have that on there or not.
You can do that because I was looking at that today. You can do, if you go to your gallery widget, the gallery widget,
Yeah.
you can either do it as a tile of your images that you pick, or you can do it like you get a tile mosaic, or you can get a carousel slideshow sort of thing that keeps.
Do you use that for your pictures and stuff, like your illustrations?
No, I got that far and then I gave up because I was so sick of going backwards and forwards and trying to like. I couldn't decide what pictures to put in it. I'd had enough by then.
Okay.
But I think it's because I need to sort out the rest of the like we're talking about the columns and things like that, because at the minute I've just got a sidebar and at the bottom it's got 3 footers or whatever.
Yeah.
So I haven't really got anything in there. Everything's down the sidebar because it just goes down forever.
Yeah, if you could totally pull those over onto your other footers, because you have a right footer, a center footer, and a left footer, right?
Yeah, but the trouble is, it's so far down the page, I'm worried people won't get to see anything unless it's down the side.
Because your blogs are full posts, right, instead of excerpts?
Yeah, I can't get the summary at the minute.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, use Debut.
Okay.
To do that. I mean, there's a ton that you can use. I think for you, because you do a lot of visual art, you would do well with something like Parabola or Magazino or something like that.
I do a lot of photographs and a lot of text kind of thing, so there's a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, we'll fix your site up. I think we should just do it. But anyhow, you should probably just do ZoeHumphreys.com and bring everything up.
I don't think I can get it for some reason. I think I've tried that in the past. But anyway, carry on.
Okay.
These are the problems that we're discussing, because you've got to think quite carefully about how you want it to look, because the different themes don't allow you to do it in the exact way you want it. And that's what was pissing you off, isn't it? Because you were like, why can't I just put that where I want to put it? Why won't it let me do it? And it's because of the theme and how it's set out.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise that you could, like, type in, like you were saying something, you could type in headers and where all that business. Where was that? So that you could find themes that were more...
When you go to install themes...
I can't even remember seeing install themes.
If you click themes...
Yeah.
Above, like at the top of the page, there's like tabs. One says manage themes, one says install themes.
Right,
Click
okay.
install themes. And what I do, I don't even put anything in, I just hit search and see what comes up. And it'll just be pages and pages of different themes that are free. And I just kind of go through and fuck around with them until I like something.
That's what I mean, but the problem is that by doing that, it's like not narrowing it down enough for me, because I can get everything and I think, oh, that looks nice, blah, blah. And then I realise halfway through when I've like nearly smashed something that I can't do it that way.
Then for you, I would just type in summary or excerpt into the search and see what things come up. Okay. Or you could just use one of these ones that I already know does that.
Yeah, okay.
Also easy. So now what we're going to talk about are plugins, okay? Because plugins are these awesome little things that make WordPress do things that normally it wouldn't do, okay? So one of the first things I had to do was because I had a blog called, I can't remember what it was. It was on Blogspot or something like that. And there were a ton of blogs on there, and I didn't really want to bring them onto my new website, but I wanted them to, the people who already subscribed to that blog, I wanted them to be able to still have that be useful. So I got a plugin called Blogger 301 Redirect. And it basically takes every blog I post on my website and still sends it over to my Blogger. Just so the people who subscribe to that can still, I don't know, have contact with what I'm doing. So if you have a blog that you don't want to really like start a new blog on a website or anything like that, that's a really cool plugin to do. So just type that into the search for plugins, install plugins, you'll get it, and then you have to hit a thing that says activate. If you don't activate the plugin, it will never turn on.
When you say all this fast, when you say type it into plugins, blah, 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 what does that mean? Where's the plugins thing to type it into?
When you go into your dashboard, remember how we had post and paid and appearance? One of those little things, it says plugins.
Oh, right. Okay, so you can
click on that. It takes you to a page in your dashboard that says, like, add a new plugin, install a plugin, manage plugins. I think it takes you to the manage plugins page, and then you have to put add new plugin, and then you just search for the plugin. And that's how you're going to find all the plugins.
And you search for it on that page there?
Yep.
Right, okay.
And it'll pop up.
Where did you find out about all of this? Was this on Simon Whistler's thing again?
No, that blogger one I just had to find when I started my website.
Right, okay.
I just started mindlessly searching plugin keywords like blog redirect or form maker was another one that I got. And this might be good for Nicola, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to my page, my website, and go to Creeper Crew, like the mailing list page, you can sign up for the mailing list, or underneath it, you could sign up for the street team, which will also put you into the mailing list anyway. But when you sign up for the street team, it has a form to fill out that asks you a couple different questions. Now, you could have all sorts of different forms, but there are forms, and all of this is in the plugin, okay? But there are forms like if you sell cupcakes. You could have people fill out online what kind of cupcake they want and how many they want, when they want them by, and where to contact you for any follow-up questions. Like something like that on Nicola's site would be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know if she has anything like that.
No, she won't have, because she's in the same boat as me.
Nicola makes amazing cakes that look like different things. Like she's made a shoe, she's made a Minecraft cake.
Yeah, the Minecraft one. She's the best one she's done. The best one I like, anyway, is the Stormtrooper helmet that she made for Sam, which is really awesome.
That was cool. She made a vacuum.
Yeah, Henry, for British British viewers, a Henry Hoover. She's made a mystery machine.
Really great stuff. Oh, the mystery machine was really cool too.
Yeah, she's just made all sorts, but she's getting better and better.
He goes over to Zoe's house and gets all pissed off, and then Zoe tries to help, and then they argue, and then Doris eats the cake when they're not looking, and all sorts of fun stuff. It's a riot.
Yeah. It is quite good. I did an awesome, like a kind of rockabilly one, which I really loved, with kind of red and white polka dot ribbons with like loads of peonies on the top and swallows and, you know, like tattoo, the classic tattoo sort of shapes on it and stuff. And that was really nice. But that's Sugar Bugs, if anyone's
Sugar
interested.
Bugs is what it's called?
Sugar Bugs with a Z. Yeah.
Sugar Bugs.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested, yeah, but I'll definitely tell you about that.
Even for the art bug thing, she could have a freaking contact form with like what kind of
Yeah,
stuff they
and
want to do.
art Bugs is the other one where she does
So that one,
classes
just
with kids.
look up Form Maker, and a bunch of different things will pop up. But I think Form Maker was the top one when I put that in.
Okay.
Another one I have that Simon didn't talk about, and I don't use it all the time. I use it every once in a while. But if you type in social polls opinion, you could do something where you could do polls on your blog, and like I did it for Creepology, like pick the next stories in Creepology.
That's a separate section, isn't it? Down the dashboard.
Yeah, it ends up in there because when you have a plugin, a lot of times they end up in your in the left side of your dashboard,
Right.
so you could manage them independently of going into the plugin.
Okay.
But that one, and I used it too just recently for pick your favorite Black Star Canyon cover.
Mhm.
And the other thing that's cool about it is when you do it, it also will set the poll up on your social network pages. And when people vote, like their Facebook picture will pop up or something like that. It's just a cool little thing. You don't use it all the time, but it's a neat thing to have if you want it. And there's a lot of different ones out there, and that's my favorite one. I've used a few different ones.
What's it called? Social poll?
Social polls opinion. Like if you type those words into the search, it'll pop up.
Okay.
That one's pretty cool. Now, you're also going to want to, whatever your mailing list provider is, they should have a plugin so you could start putting your subscription things on your website. So like mine is on the sidebar. Okay, it's in the widget, but I needed to connect them through the plugin so I could even get that widget to put into the sidebar.
Mhm.
So I use MailChimp, so that's where that came from.
Yeah.
So I typed in MailChimp, but if you use Aweber, if you use any of the others, get the plugin for it and hook it into your site.
And we've talked about the newsletter and how important that is on many occasions, so it's important to have that. You've got that finally on the front page, haven't you, which is awesome.
Yeah, that fucking was like the bane of my existence, dude, for months. So, and that's what destroyed my Parabola site. So if you want the Parabola theme, do not try to put a pop-up ad or your fucking mailing list thing on the front page, because it will not happen. Just a heads up.
Okay. Any more plugins, or what about the...
I have a few more.
Okay.
Contact form. When you go to contact, for most of my websites, usually what I had on the contact page was just a thing saying, if you want to contact me, email me at creeperson@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's what I've got as well.
That's one of those things where it's like, if you give people an option to fucking do something on another page, chances are they're not going to fucking do it because people are lazy. And people want shit done immediately. So now if you go to creeperson.com and hit contact, it'll take you to an actual form where they put their name, their email address, the subject, the question, and hit submit. And then that sends an email to my email where I could answer it and send it back.
That's fantastic, because I know for a fact I've done that on several occasions where if I've had to inquire about something or I've had to ask, if the form's there, I'll do it straight away. But if it just says, here's the email, never do it. I'll never do it. And it is laziness, but you just think, oh, God.
Well, because a lot of those things, if you click on the email address, it'll open Outlook. And I don't use
exactly,
Outlook.
and that's what it does, and I don't use Outlook either.
I fucking hate it. And then it slows my computer down and all that other shit. So that's just my bullshit. So just type in contact form, 2 words. It's the first one that pops up, and it's really easy to set up.
Okay.
And again, if you look at Simon's tutorial, it's really easy to set up. It'll take you 2 nothing seconds. So now, here's a couple things. On debut, the thing I picked, it has the social media thing. And if you go to creeperson.com, at the top, you'll see an F for Facebook and a dumb little bird for Twitter. Okay?
Oh.
Now, I wanted my YouTube page on there. I wanted my Tumblr. I wanted my Instagram. I wanted LinkedIn on there as well. But the debut thing doesn't have the icons for those. So it's a pain in the ass, and I'm all pissed off. And that's why I liked Parabola, because Parabola not only had those, but they also had Amazon. So I could put my Amazon author page on there, which was awesome. I loved that. But for some reason, this theme doesn't have all the icons that I want. So there are 2 things you can do. One, you could get a widget or a plugin called Accurax Social Media Widget.
Okay,
And if
what's
you
that
just
called?
type in Accurax, it's ACURAX. If you just type that in to the plugin search, you'll find that thing, Accurax Social Media Widget. And you could put whatever social networks you want to have listed, and it'll give you the little icons for all those things, and you can put that in your sidebar. So
Right.
people could connect to you on all of those different formats. So I have not hooked that up yet on mine because I'm still on the fence if I'm going to continue to use the ones that are in my theme or if I'm going to use that. So I'm going to try it out today and see how I like it. But if you want to see what this looks like, go to johndoeauthor.com, Simon's thing that he put together, and you could see it. It looks really great. And then there's another one called Social Media Feather. Now, what this one does is at the bottom of your blog posts or whatever, it'll have a thing saying share this. Now, WordPress has the ability to do that already. And if you go to my page, creeperson.com, if you look at any of the blogs, it will have a thing that says share this in a scroll down menu, and it'll just have all the different things that you could share my blog post.
Mine has all the icons at the bottom of each post.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's not intentional. I don't know how I've done it.
Well, the Social Media Feather will do that for you and put all the different... I know, but if the thing you have just automatically came with that or something...
I haven't got the
then
ones that
cool.
on the top of the page or wherever, on every page.
No, but at the bottom of it's the share, the social share. That's awesome. You want to have the social share so people, like the blog that I posted last night that's been shared about 10 times already, that if you could tell me what the name of it is, you'll get a free copy of Black Star Canyon, the complete first season.
Free?
Right now. Okay, so there's that. So that is another really cool thing. Now, there are 2 more plugins that are super important, and I'm bringing them up because these are 2 things that I needed more than life itself. Okay, one of them is called My Books Table. Okay, now if you go to creeperson.com/books, you'll see what this does. It gives you your book, a little blurb about your book, the price of it, and then buttons underneath it for all the different places where the book is for sale. So you have like your Amazon button, your Barnes & Noble button, your iBooks button, your Kobo button. You could have a Create Space button. You could have a Sign by Author button. There's just all these different places that you could put it on there. The other cool thing about this is that you could upload a PDF of a chapter of your book.
Mm-hmm.
So people can download a sample of the book before they buy it. It's a really fucking cool thing. And my only complaint is, and I don't know if this is going to come off as clear, but those pages that it makes are called book pages and not just normal pages. So you cannot use those as subcategories in your navigation bar. So I have these book pages from my books table that are different than the pages if you were to click books, Black Star Canyon, Season 1, Episode 1. That is a completely different page than the books, my books table, Black Star Canyon Episode 1 page. That pisses me off. So if I could figure out a way around that, I'll do it, and everything will be cool, and the world will be great. But it just looks so professional. If you are an author and you're trying to build an author site, definitely get this plugin. It makes your site just look so fucking professional. I mean, you saw it and you thought it was like amazing looking, right?
I couldn't believe it. No, it really is really professional. The fact that it just looks like something out of, it just looks like Amazon. Where the book's there, the cover's there, the excerpt's there, and all the buttons. So if you click on it, you can go straight to the site to buy it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing really like that before.
I just have the Black Star Canyon books up there. I haven't had a chance to go put any of the other ones up.
Right,
because it does take a few minutes to put them together.
Can you go through just basically what you have to do for each to get your book to look like that once you've got the plugin?
You don't have to do anything. As soon as you click on Add a Book, it has things that you fill out, and you just fill that out, and then it looks like that.
What kind of things do you have to fill out, though? Is it quite self-explanatory?
Book title, book price, sale price, blurb, long description, the picture, and then you have to put the links for all the different places where it's available. And if you want to upload a book sample that people could download, which I haven't done yet either. I'm going to be doing that.
So the book samples as well, which is fantastic, isn't it? So it is quite time-consuming. That's the same as mine, for Big Cartel or something for my shop. You still have to go through and put everything in and all your prices and stuff. But once it's
done, dude, it looks awesome.
Yeah, and presumably you can just go in and change your prices if you need to, or easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something you need, isn't it? Oh, hang on a second, my cat wants to be back in now.
So I hope this is useful information and not just a clusterfuck of information, because this is a pretty big episode here. So the last plugin that you should get is one that's called SumoMe. It's SUMOME. Now, the reason why you should get this is a pop-up ad that you could have on your website. And
now, I was initially, I thought this was going to be like the Amazon cart thing.
Yeah, and I hate pop-ups too.
Yeah.
But in everything I've been reading lately, people say it will double. Or one thing I downloaded, the thing that fucking killed my parabola, said that it would boost my mailing list numbers 700%, which is fucking crazy. I was like, sign me up, But everyone I know who has a pop-up ad, within a month they're like, yeah, my mailing list doubled. Okay, I want that. Sign me up. Okay. And this is a very non-intrusive thing, okay? It's a little thing that pops up and says, hey, this is a bunch of cool shit. Sign my mailing list. Sign up for my mailing list or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it says. But it's very small. And when you're on the page, it doesn't pop up. And it's called Smart. The thing on it is Smart. The setting. When you are doing it, you'll fill in the settings. It will only pop up when someone tries to leave the page. So it's not interfering with anything they're reading. It's not interfering with anything they're looking at. But it pops up when they try to X out, and then it won't pop up again for a month, supposedly. Okay, so if they opted out and they didn't want to do it, they could come back to the site tomorrow, and it won't show up in their face again. It'll wait 30 days before it pops up again for them. So it's a really cool, super easy way to do it, and I'll let you know how it goes. If next week I have a ton of fucking subscribers compared to a normal week, I'll fucking let you know and tell you it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. If not,
Or
I'll say fuck it.
alternatively, if people are saying, get this shit off your site, it's pissing me off, we'll tell you about that as well.
Totally. So, yeah, that's Sumo Me. And I think there's a couple different things, but it's just a pop-up thing. It should be like the top thing on there.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to set up. And it works way better. You could connect it to MailChimp or Aweber or Constant Connect or whatever email service you have, or mailing list service. And it was so easy to set up. It was way easier than trying to do all the fucking HTML stuff and copy and pasting and all that other crap. It was just so fucking easy. It took me seriously like less than 5 minutes to set up.
And it's kind of, rather than things popping up where it really pisses you off if you're on Amazon or something and you keep getting the pop-up ads at the bottom going, there's a better option here, or there's a better option, why don't you go to here? There's all the alternative
that's just because
prices.
your computer's horribly infected with viruses.
No, it doesn't do that anymore. I fixed that. Thanks to you. No, but instead of that, it's more or less kind of just saying, before you go, are you sure you don't want to sign up, kind of thing, just to remind you.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not it isn't offensive like I thought it was going to be, because that bridles me usually, and I just think, oh, but it's not like that. So it's worth giving it a go for sure.
Yeah. So again, Simon will be here next week, so if you have any questions for him, you could ask him while we're doing the show.
Yeah, get your questions ready, and we're going to basically he's going to be going through what we're talking about, but presumably with different options for different people.
And on top of that, Simon interviewed so many different writers from so many different genres and different walks of life and everything like that. He is just a smorgasbord of information.
Yeah,
so,
and a lovely chap. So if anybody's got
any questions you have,
we're going to mention it through the week and give people plenty of opportunity to get ready for him. And we're going to be broadcasting at an earlier time, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're going to be 2 hours earlier so he could not have to stay up all night because he's in Prague. So it'll be 11. Go ahead. It'll be 7 o'clock UK time.
It'll be 7 p.m. GMT, and it'll be 11 a.m. Eastern.
No, Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard, sorry.
Yeah.
Can't remember all these things.
Or Pacific Daylight Time. I think they changed it. I think it's PDT now.
Is it?
I don't fucking know. 11 o'clock Hollywood time, let's say.
Yeah.
Don't say
But it'll
that,
be,
then people
it's
won't
anyway
start
going to
4
be
hours
2 hours.
later.
It'll be 2 hours earlier than usual anyway. That's the basic thing to remember. But we'll post all that information up and let you know again and remind you.
Yeah, for sure. So this was a fucking good show. All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there's loads of information there, and I'll let you know how I get on because I need to set my dad. We need to get my dad set up as one as well, so I'll be able to tell you what he's found difficult, because that'll be horrific. Considering Twitter, it took him like half an hour trying to write the bio for his profile. Seriously.
And just don't forget to RSVP on the Black Star Canyon launch party on June 1st.
Yeah, please do. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff planned. And if you haven't signed up for the mailing list, go to creeperson.com and do it. And other than that, I guess that's it.
You can check out my WordPress through the week as well, because I'm planning on improving mine.
Okay, what's the domain for it?
Oh, I don't know whether I want to.
Wait, Brit Zombie Girl Art Blog
.wordpress.com.
.wordpress.com.
I'm kind of like a bit reticent about telling people because I'd rather they didn't see it yet. But anyway.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. That's been really
Everybody.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Have we had nobody answering your question?
I knew you were going to say that. No.
Oh, well.
No. Nobody knows that the last blog I posted was 3 things you should do in the bathroom to increase your creative productivity.
There you go.
So
go and check it out.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the group on Facebook and see if somebody gets it.
Yeah.
Okay. So until next time, everybody, I will see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.